Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It is actually Thursday when I'm making this video, and so as of a couple hours ago, I am officially retired. And so I am excited to do this project and also to be able to share more projects with you in the future now that I do not have to go to a regular job. Yay! I'm so excited. So today we're doing, I saw on Pinterest, and the pin that I have picked today are these cute little tags, and they are by, Abby Albert 66, and she has, her name is, looks like it's Suzanne Thomas. And she has made these cute little tags using the Tim Holtz portraits and also the little snapshots. And she made hers kind of 4 different ones. I'm going to make 3 because I want to use one in each of my fall journals. And so I am going to focus on part of this, but then the rest of it, I've kind of gone off on my own kind of little tangent so that I can incorporate them into my fall journals. And what else do I need to say? I'll kind of go through my materials as we are building them. And I took everything that I am going to use out of my stash. So, let's get started. I'm going to move this over to the side, out of the way, so we have plenty of room. I have 3 different tags that are just out of my stash that are, this one is a digital, this one is a digital, and this one is a scrap of Tim Holtz paper. And I have a loose corner here. Give me just 1 second. I felt it when I picked it up. That happens when you use glue stick. Sometimes you may miss an edge. I want to make sure I get it glued down. Okay. And I made a big mess doing that. Alright, so these tags are 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, just in case you want to make them the exact same size that I have made them, but of course you can do it any size you want to. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to ink all 3 of these, and I'm going to use actually gathered twigs. I like the color gathered twigs for fall. I think it gives a nice color for fall makes. It's a little bit darker than, say, if you were going to use a vintage photo, but it's not quite as dark as the ground espresso that I normally use, and I just think it's a really good color for fall. So we're just going to grub up the edges. And I'm not going to worry about making the backs of these a writing space because I have that taken care of in the next step. Alright, so we got those. That's a nice juicy pad. You can tell that I don't use that one as often. Okay, now I have 3 of these pictures that I have cut out to use. And I'm going to ink those just a little. So that's that. And I have 3 little labels. And the reason I can do these like this and make them very similar is because they are going in 3 different journals. If they were going in the same journal and I wanted to make more than one, I would definitely vary the look more than what I am. So there's my 3 labels. And then I have 3 little just pieces of ephemera that are kind of rectangle shaped. And I think all of these are Tim Holtz. I mainly pick them for the shape, and as a matter of fact, this one is blank. I need to put a number or something on it real quick. But I wanted this shape, is why I have these picked out. Let's see, will that fit on there? I think it will. Oh, there's one on there. It's not long enough, though. We'll use this longer one. And I'll stamp it with my archival. Just to get something on there. Okay, so we have 3 of the rectangle shape. We have these 3. And then I have 3 that I have stamped fall on. And I didn't really worry about whether it was straight or not straight or whatever. I just kind of stamped it. I don't mind that all the letters aren't even. And I stamped those with my stamps, my wooden stamps that I got in Germany. Okay, and then for some extra embellishments, I have some Claire piano paper that we're going to use. Let me put my thing in my glue here while I'm preparing and talking. And I have some, this is like where I tore the spine off a book. And it's just like the, you know, the material part. So I have 3 little scraps of that. And we may or may not use all this. I just wanted to get everything that I thought I would need. And then I've got 3 little Tim Holtz die cuts of mushrooms. And again, I'm inking everything with the gathered twigs. And you don't have to ink. Inking is always optional. And for that matter, what you pick to put these together is optional. You know, it's like I've said before, I use Pinterest a lot to kind of find things that I like, but my end makes usually vary from what the actual starting point was of the pen. I think I'm gonna try to make these a little darker. Okay, so there's where we are. Now, this is where we're going to vary. I have these pockets that I had in my stash that were already made. And in those pockets, this by the way, was a calendar. And it had some really nice William Morris print on it. And so I cut the pages of the calendar out and made these little back pieces. And then the front pieces are printables by Rachel at Roxy Creations. And then there are, I made these little journal cards. And that's why I'm not worried about what's on the back of these, because these are already really nice little journaling spots. And I kept these kind of neutral and, you know, ready to use, which I think is going to work perfect for this particular project. So I have 3 of those. In 3 pockets. And then I picked the ones, I have several of these, because obviously, you know, there were 12 months in the calendar, and so I have 12 different patterns. But I picked the ones that I thought had more, more of a fall color combination on the, you know what I'm trying to say. On the paper, the colors are more fall oriented, so that's why I picked the ones that I did to use. And I think this is Italian, maybe. Yeah, I think it's Italian. Book page, and I just printed or stamped a butterfly on it, and then I put a piece of the same paper that's here on the top, just to kind of give it some extra strength. And then on the back it just has some coffee dyed paper. Okay, so now that we have all our inking done, let's put one of these together and see what we can come up with. Oh, and I also have these little kind of film strip pieces that are from 49 and Market. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but they have kind of these cool splatters on them. And so I want to put a piece of that behind the picture. Kind of like that. So we're going to do that as well. So I'm going to cut it about right there. I've got to cut it straight. Okay. And then I have these little bitty clothespins, like in the original pen. Now, I do think that in the original pen, the clothespins are bigger than what I have, but this is what I have, so this is what we're going to use. Here's the original pen. And to me, these look a little wider and maybe even a little longer than what I have. But this is what I have, so that's what we're going to use. And I am kind of basing mine more on this, because to me that looks like they've used some of this film strip turned the other way. Turned this way. But I like it this way, so I'm going to turn it this way. And obviously I'm using a longer piece. Okay. Alright, so we're going to have our piece there, and then I think I want to put this tag down here with the fall over it. And I want to put one of these long things up under the clip. And I want to put one of these pieces like behind here. And then I think I'm going to take, oh, and I also had this, which is just newsprint or packing paper. Some people use it as packing paper. but I want to crumble it up real good because this reminds me kind of the sounds of fall from the leaves crunching under your feet and stuff like that. And so I want to put that, I'm thinking, up under the fall word, just a little bit of it. And I may have torn that too small, like that. And then maybe a piece of piano paper over here. So what do you think? I think I like that. All right, so let's see if we can put this together now. I'm not going to glue the tag down because I like the idea of it just being clipped on there. So I'm going to glue this down. I thought I had that in my hand. That's bad. And this really doesn't need to be grunged up much, but I'm going to fray it a little bit if I can. Actually, this side is probably more frayed. And then I'm going to tear this straight edge off here. Kind of grunge. Yeah, that ink pad's really wet. You can tell I don't use that one very often. I like it, but I am going to wipe it down because I don't want it to smear everywhere. Okay. And that way you have some interest too. If I do this, when you take the tag off, you can still see this, and this still has a pretty neat look to it. So let's glue all this down. And see what we come up with. I'm going to use a glue stick on the piano paper. And I found my piano paper at a thrift store, believe it or not. I found 2 rolls. Okay, let's glue this down. And again, I'm just going to use a glue stick. I think it's going to work just fine. All right, now I am going to use double-sided tape to glue this to the tag. Because I think it will work the best. And I'm going to concentrate where I tape it to where it's going to be under the picture. I don't mind if the edges are not glued down. I don't guess it matters which side I use. Can't grab it. Okay, and then my picture will go here. Do I want it cockeyed a little bit? Let me put this down first so I can be sure and get it where I want it. Now I'm going to use art glitter glue. Actually, I'm going to use double-sided tape to glue on top of that film strip. I think that's the best option. Alright, and then I'm going to put a little bit of ink on here and glue this down. I'm going to crinkle it up a little bit. And I'd like to put just a little bitty tiny number or something right there. Let me see if I can get this one to get my archival. Now, I stamped this in Stays On what's the color? Where's my stamp pad? Where's my head? Stays On Timber Brown. So it's going to be darker than this, which is perfectly fine with me. Okay, like that. And I'm going to raise this up a little bit, I think, to give it just a little bit of a lift. I've got these little bitty dimensional things here that'll give it just a little bit of lift off that paper without making it too bulky. All right. So we got that. Now, this is not straight, so I'm going to straighten it up just a little. Much better. Now, if you want to, you could roughen up the sides of this picture. I think I am going to bend some corners just to get some creases in there. You can also, if you wanted to, take like some sandpaper or something like that and rough it up. And I'm not going to add any dimensional dots because I think it is going to be dimensional enough, but you could if you wanted to, if you wanted that to stick up a little bit. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to put one of these little mushrooms, kind of like just right down here in the corner. And since I have dimensional dots under that, it slid right under there without any difficulty. So if you don't use the dimensional dots, you obviously want to put the picture down, the mushroom down, and then the fall tag on top. And then this will go here, and this will go here. Like this. And then we will take our little clip all that together. And then this will go in our pocket, and that pocket is this one. I need to ink that little notch. And then you could embellish this more if you wanted. You know, I think it's fine like that. And then this glues down on your page. Let me show you, get to a page here. So this would glue down on the page, however you want it to. And you could drop it down here to the bottom and make another pocket there, or you could put it in the middle. You can make a pocket back here, or you could also make it a flip out if you wanted it to flip out. So that's how that would work. All right, let's make the other two now. I'll put this back on here real quick. All right, so let's do this one. So for this one, let's cut our, actually we may not need to cut it. This one may be, oh, it's a little long. Let's cut a little bit of it off. Label to go down here. And we've got our little fall. Let's put our stamp on there. Where'd I set it? I'd lose my head if it wasn't connected, guys. There it is. We'll go ahead and do the other one while I got it out and everything. Okay. All right, so first we're going to put our piano paper on here. And then we got our piece of fabric, our book spine. Get rid of that top piece. I hope you guys are enjoying these. I said on Pinterest videos. Let me know in the comments if it's something that you're enjoying. I don't want to be doing something that you're not liking. It seems like from the views that I get that everybody's enjoying them, but you know, everybody doesn't comment on every video, so sometimes it's hard to know. And if there's something that you want to see, you know, or would like for me to do, let me know that as well. I could have moved that over further. Not going to see much of that piano paper when everything's put together, but when you take it apart, you will for sure. You know, when you take the tag off the front. Alright, so there's that part. Now let's put our tag together. So we want to put this down first. Okay, and then we're going to put this little label down. And I believe these are Tracy labels. Tracy Fox. Most of my labels are hers. Digital ones that I have. Alright, now we need our packing paper stuff. Crumble it up a little bit. Okay, now we'll put our dots on the back of our fall piece here. Alright, and then we're going to put our picture on. And this is Anne, according to what's on that picture. So Anne's going to pop right on here. And then we have our mushroom. And our long label. Assemble it on here. Put our little clip on. And then put our clip in our pocket. Oop. That one needs to be glued, doesn't it? So that will go in there. Like that. All right, one more. And that's this one, and it's probably my favorite. I love this charcoal gray with this kind of burnt orange color. I think that's a great color combination. All right, so here is our back piece for that one. So we have our spine here and our piano paper. A little bit of ink. Now one thing I didn't do on that other one is rough up the photo. I probably could have roughed it up a little bit, but that's okay. It'll still be fine. I'm actually going to put the glue on the other side of this. I like the back side of this one better. It's got a little bit of staining and kind of cool edges. So we'll put that one on like that. Okay, so there's our back piece. Now let's do our tag part. You can see these come together fairly quickly once you decide, you know, what you're gonna, how you're gonna lay them out, and you get all your stuff out. You can actually make them pretty quick. I don't usually make 3 journals at the same time, so I'm kind of doing something a little different. But so far, it's going well. And they are going to have, they're all going to be slightly different, but they'll also all kind of have the same kind of ephemera. Same, made the same way, I will say. Not necessarily look the same, but I'll show you some examples here in when we get these done. I can wrap these up real quick. Trim these sides down just a little bit. Yep, that's better. Re-ink. Crinkle them up. These make such nice creases because they're a little bit stiffer cardstock. So the creases really do make it look older. Mushrooms for this one. And my long tag. Let me hold that just a second. I should have used... No, I think it's going to stick. I started to say maybe I should have used Fabri-Tac, but I think it's going to be okay. There's our little clip. And I'll clip it on here. And then that will go in here. So there we go, that quickly. We have 3 pockets and tags for our journal. And then we'll go back and look at the original pen here. I was like, why isn't that working? It's because my iPad's upside down. So, here's the original pen. I kind of went by this one more than any of them, even though I incorporated some fabric. And, you know, there's leaves here, and I did a mushroom. And, so there's the original pen, and there is my version. So I think those came out really cute. All right, so let's look at some of the ephemera. I also got my fabrics for each of the journals. I'll show you those as well. So this is the ephemera, and this is what I... Ooh, because I wreck everything. This is what I've been working on. Each of the journals has this little tray section that I've been making ephemera. You saw where I did the leaves the other day. And I have, like I said, for example, I made envelopes using some scrapbook paper. So each of them will have one of these, and they'll vary slightly. Like, here's the other one. See, it might vary slightly, but it's going to be kind of the same type of thing for each one. So that's what I mean by that. And like these little seed packet envelopes, you know, that's for one of them. And then this is for another one. And you can see those are pretty much exactly the same. But the one for the third one, I believe, has a different picture on the front. If I can find it. Oh no, it does have the same. So some of them will be exactly the same, and then some of them will vary by the picture. It just depends on what I had as far as the digitals go. Like these tags, for example, all three of those have the same style, but I think they all three have a different person on them. Yeah. Okay. So remember that when if you're mask making and doing more than one journal, you know, if you want to keep your bases similar, you don't necessarily have to have the same focal point on each one, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so that is my ephemera. Oops. And here are the journals. I did show these in another video, but I'll show you what fabrics. Joann's had their fabric squares on sale. And so this one with my Louisa Heinzel tag is going to have this on the outside and this on the inside. And I think that goes real well with that one. And then this one with our little squirrel junk mail pocket is going to have the plaid on the outside and this fabric on the inside. And then this one with the bird is going to have this green on the outside and this on the inside. And then after I get everything done, I believe this lace is going to go on the spine of all three. So I think they're going to end up pretty, and hopefully by the end of the weekend they'll be finished and I can get them listed. But they are, I have a couple more pieces of ephemera to make, and all the ephemera will be done, so then it'll just be a matter of sewing them together and getting everything in the pockets installed and everything in the pockets and all that kind of stuff. So that's it, guys. That's the latest update, and I will see you guys on tomorrow for the 50 stack challenge number 3. And I haven't determined what my schedule is going to be for videoing. You know, now that I have the option of doing it every day, I don't know if I'm going to try and do something every day, or, you know, right now I'm doing, 4 days a week, but I was having to tape it all on the weekend. So, I probably will increase it to at least 5 days a week. But I don't know that yet. I'm going to take a couple days, get organized, figure out what I'm going to do, and then, go from there, because I really want to get my Etsy shop nice and stocked with stuff. And I'm really excited about doing that as well, because, that's been one of my stressors, is keeping enough in my shop. You know, being able to only work on it on the weekends, basically, by the time I get home in the evening and do dinner and all that kind of stuff. It's been basically everything shoved into the weekend to try to get it done. So it'll be exciting to be able to work on things and get them listed in the shop and have more things available for you guys. So if you have any ideas about things that you would like, do you like journals that are put together but and have, vintage papers and nice papers in them, that are pretty much left blank, that you guys can embellish with your stuff? What is your preference, and what do you look for when you go to Etsy? Do you look for tags? Do you look for journal cards? Do you look for supplies? Let me know, because one of the things that I definitely want to do now that I'm not working is get back into the groove of going to estate sales and thrifting and stuff like that, because that's where I find, my neat things that I have, and I want to be able to offer those to you if that's something you're interested in. So, with that being said, everybody have a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.